What will be the fate of human civilization in the next few centuries or millennia? This question, my friends, has puzzled scholars, thinkers, and dreamers for generations. It holds us captive in its mysterious grip, leaving us to wonder about the destiny of our species. Civilization, by its very nature, is a transient phenomenon. It's like a river, constantly flowing, never the same from one moment to the next. It's a process of constant change, of evolution and revolution. And throughout the course of human history, we've seen civilizations rise and fall, each leaving behind a unique legacy. Consider the grandeur of the Roman Empire, an entity that once stretched across 3 continents and held sway over millions. Its architectural marvels, its legal systems, its cultural contributions, all a testament to its former glory. But that glory didn't last forever. The empire crumbled, succumbed to internal and external pressures, and eventually faded into the annals of history. Or take the mysterious Mayan civilization, with its advanced understanding of astronomy and its intricate calendar systems. The Mayans thrived in the dense jungles of Central America, building cities that stood in harmony with the natural world. But despite their knowledge and achievements, their civilization too met a sudden and dramatic end. These are but 2 examples among countless others. The narrative is consistent. Civilizations rise, reach their zenith, and then, inevitably, they fall. The reasons are manifold: environmental changes, internal strife, external invasions, or even the simple passage of time. And so, we're led to a sobering thought. If history has taught us anything, it's that no civilization, however grand or advanced, is immune to this cycle. That includes our own. It's not a pleasant thought, but it's one that we must confront. Our civilization as we know it may also face an end. It might not happen today or tomorrow or even in the next few centuries, but the likelihood is there. The question is not whether our civilization will end, but when and how. So let's delve a little deeper, shall we? Let's look at some of the predictions and theories about the end of our civilization. Many thinkers and scientists have proposed theories about the end of our civilization. Let's delve into some of these theories, starting with climate change. Renowned scientists have warned us about the catastrophic effects of global warming and rising sea levels. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change reports that if greenhouse gas emissions continue at the current rate, by the end of the 21st century, we could see an increase in global average temperature by 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. This would result in extreme weather patterns, loss of biodiversity, and a rise in sea levels that could submerge coastal cities. Next, we have the threat of nuclear warfare. The world has enough nuclear weapons to wipe out humanity several times over. The Federation of American Scientists estimates that there are currently nearly 14,000 nuclear warheads in the world. A full-scale nuclear war could lead to a nuclear winter, with temperatures plummeting, crops failing, and most of the Earth becoming uninhabitable. Then there's the fear of artificial intelligence, or AI, overtaking humans. Some of the greatest minds, including physicist Stephen Hawking, have warned us about the potential threat AI could pose if it becomes too advanced. They argue that if AI surpasses human intelligence, it could become uncontrollable and could potentially cause the extinction of humanity. Lastly, the threat of an asteroid impact. The Earth has been hit by asteroids in the past, and it's only a matter of time until it happens again. NASA estimates that there are over 1 million near-Earth asteroids large enough to cause substantial damage. A large enough asteroid could cause mass extinction, as it did with the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. While these theories might seem far-fetched, they are based on scientific evidence and should not be dismissed lightly. The future of human civilization is not solely dependent on external factors, but also on our actions and choices. As we delve into the role of human actions, it's essential to recognize our impact on the world. We don't exist in a vacuum. No, our choices, both individually and collectively, shape the world around us, sometimes in ways that are irreversible. Take climate change, for instance. It's not a natural disaster waiting to happen, but a man-made catastrophe already in progress. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, human activities have caused approximately 1 degree Celsius of global warming above pre-industrial levels. This warming trend is not just heating up our planet, but also causing extreme weather conditions, rising sea levels, and devastating loss of biodiversity. And it's not just our relationship with the environment that's causing concern. Consider the threat of nuclear warfare. Since the dawn of the atomic age, we've been living with the knowledge that a single decision could lead to the end of civilization as we know it. The Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons has been signed by 191 states. But the existence of over 15,000 nuclear weapons worldwide is a chilling reminder of our potential for self-destruction. But it's not all doom and gloom. The same hands that have caused these problems also hold the power to solve them. We've seen countries coming together to combat climate change, with the Paris Agreement being a prime example. On the nuclear front, disarmament efforts continue, albeit slowly. The key takeaway here is that our actions matter. Every choice we make, every policy we implement, every technology we develop can either bring us closer to the brink or pull us back from it. We are not passive observers in the story of our civilization. We are the authors. And the pen, as they say, is mightier than the sword. In the grand scheme of things, our actions today will determine the future of our civilization, whether we choose to wield our power responsibly or recklessly. The fate of humanity rests in our hands. Despite the grim predictions, there is hope for the future of human civilization. In the face of the threats we have discussed, human innovation and resilience have always found a way to not just survive, but to thrive. Let's consider some of the potential solutions that could safeguard our future. Firstly, renewable energy. As we grapple with the consequences of climate change, the shift to renewable energy sources is no longer an option, but a necessity. Countries around the world are stepping up their efforts. For instance, Denmark, in 2023, produced nearly 50% of its electricity from wind power. If more nations follow this example, we could significantly reduce carbon emissions and slow the pace of global warming. Then we have disarmament. The threat of nuclear warfare has loomed large since the mid-20th century. However, the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, which came into force in January 2021, represents a significant step towards a nuclear-free world. This international agreement, ratified by over 50 countries, outlaws the use, production and stockpiling of nuclear weapons, signaling a collective commitment to peace. Lastly, space exploration may sound like a plot from a science fiction novel, but it's becoming an increasingly viable solution. With advancements in technology, the idea of colonizing other planets is not as far-fetched as it once seemed. The Mars rover missions, for instance, are paving the way for potential human habitation on the Red Planet. These solutions, among others, are not just theoretical. They are being implemented and have shown promise. But they require collective action and commitment. We cannot afford complacency or delay. The stakes are too high and the clock is ticking. The survival of our civilization depends not on our ability to predict the future, but on our capacity to shape it. We are not passive observers in the story of human civilization. We are the authors, and it's up to us to write a future where we do not just survive, but thrive. The survival of our civilization depends on our ability to adapt and overcome challenges. The end of human civilization is not necessarily a doom and gloom scenario. As we gaze into the future, it's easy to get caught up in the idea of an apocalypse, of our world falling into ruin. But let's consider for a moment that the end might signify not just a conclusion, but also a birth. Throughout history, we've seen civilizations come and go. The Roman Empire, once a beacon of strength and prosperity, crumbled only to give rise to the Middle Ages and the Renaissance that followed. The Mayan civilization, known for its advanced mathematical and astronomical systems, disappeared, but its influence is still felt today in Central America. These are but mere examples of how the end of one era can usher in the beginning of another. In this sense, the end of our civilization could potentially be a transformative event, a chance for us to evolve and adapt. It could be an opportunity for us to reassess our values, to forge new paths, and create a society that's more sustainable, more harmonious, more equitable. This isn't to downplay the potential devastation that could come with the end of our civilization as we know it. There's no doubt that it would be a time of great upheaval, of loss and change. Yet it's also worth remembering that change is often the catalyst for growth. Just as a forest fire, though destructive, can pave the way for new life, so too could the end of our civilization herald the start of something new. So, what does the future hold for human civilization? It's impossible to say for certain. There are countless variables at play, countless paths we could take, but one thing is for sure, the future will be shaped by our actions, by the choices we make today. The future of human civilization is uncertain, but one thing is clear, change is inevitable. And it's up to us to ensure that this change leads not to our downfall, but to a brighter, better future.